Hi my friends, welcome back to the Gabriel Farmstead. I'm Rebecca. So it's been quite a while since I've been on the farmstead. I think around 6-7 months, that long. Yes. I know you're wondering, could it really be good for a farmer to be away from the farmstead for that long? Today I'm giving you a tour and talking to you about some of the advantages and disadvantages of staying away from the farm for too long, especially if you are the one who's giving instructions on the farm. So this used to be an orchard. Can you just give them a view of what used to be green, maybe a 360, so they can just see what is going on? Yes guys, this used to be the greenest orchard, but now it looks like there are barely any plants. I think I could attribute this to the cold wave that we received around June. It sadly wiped out a lot of my plants, but like I said, I want to give you an orchard tour and a garden tour so you will see everything in details. Here is my rosemary bush. This one is called Hardy and it's still thriving. The one problem you will see is that the guys have not been watering much, so you can see it's very dry here, haven't been watered. Yeah, and that's why you can see it doesn't look that well. Yes, from there we go to the guava. This guava was killed by the frost also. Just come a bit closer, Mr. Cameraman. So you can see the tips are breaking off because of the cold. This bush had actually recovered. You can see there are some of the leaves, but we have been allowing our kids to graze around this area. So they came through and snipped off all the other leaves that were here. That was a very big mistake on my part that I didn't anticipate. I thought they were too young to eat up my plants, but apparently I was wrong. Okay. Now before we go to the other guava, you can just show this. This used to be one of those mangoes that I got from Littlefoot Nursery. If you check around, there are still green leaves starting, but like I told you guys, my mango plants were one of those that were really affected by the frost. So I was left without mangoes for an orchard that used to be full of mangoes. And I think this is one of the reasons why my orchard is bare. I don't know. There was a time I felt really bad about it. I was so down for a while. But I'm picking up myself. And here I am, back in the red overall, back on the horse, ready to go again. This is one of those guavas again. At least the guavas, the tips died, but they survived, eh? Unlike the mangoes that were really killed off. This is an apple. An apple is called Hardy, so it was not killed. But I think this is the watering issue again. It's having a lot of buds, so I'm not worried. And if you can see from the two previous guavas and this, you can see that it doesn't look like the rosemary. I came through last night and I just watered in all the plants really well because I got to revive my orchard. Yes, this used to be a mango, one of those small mangoes. Okay, it's so rooted in, but anyways, it's totally gone. So some of this I think I have to replace. This here was It was our pawpaw plant. You remember we had that pawpaw that I wanted, that was male, and I wanted to make an experiment to see whether I'll convert it. Unfortunately, even before I could see whether it converted or not, the cold wave came through and killed it off completely. This was another one that already had fruits by then. These are the results. It was completely killed off. I think this was another pawpaw. You can see this was also killed off completely. The one that was there was also killed off completely. But guys, look at this. I'm sure you guys can remember this pawpaw plant. This was that. Oh, okay. I still can't get it out, it seems. But this was like the king of pawpaws. It had so many branches. It had so many fruits. These are the results. It was also completely killed off. The thing that was giving me heartache was this. This was a Babeco apricot. I got it from Littlefoot also. This was killed off simply because the guys didn't water the plants. I'm sure if you are addicted to buying plants and you know the prices of plants, then you know this. I think was $350, and within a few months my $350 went down the drain simply because somebody did not water the plants. And this is like one of those heartaches. Yeah. You know, there used to be granadillas here and there. They were also completely killed off. The mangoes, I know I still want to replace, maybe with 3 or 4. The granadillas, I'm not sure yet. I'm still thinking. Perhaps I will, perhaps I won't. And if I will, it's now very scorching hot. We are in the middle of summer here, and our summers are very hot. They can go up to 40 degrees Celsius. So yeah, I'm still contemplating. This used to be mangoes also. There were 2 plants in one for this ones. The funny part, you guys, we received 2 frosts. Hey, the first frost killed the upper leaves, but they were still green. The second frost came and left me with firewood. This was also a mango, died off. This place used to hold my strawberries. The chickens made a meal out of them completely. This, guys, was my favorite mango in the entire orchard. This mango was almost my shoulder length, if not taller than that. At least it didn't die completely. I think it's because it was big and the stem was much bigger. There are those that I think I will dig up completely even if they survived, but this one I want to still live in because it's having new leaves. I just want to see what will happen and how long it will take to recover. By the way, this is Alpha, the king wolf. This is Toppy's dog. It's a brownies puppy. But brownies puppies, or brownie's pregnancy and puppies, are a story for another day. I don't think I even showed you Brownie pregnant because I was very disappointed. I felt like a parent whose teenage daughter got pregnant, you know. I was really disappointed. So let's go. Anyways, I appreciate Alpha. He's very playful. There are others that are around here, but he loves following, he loves playing. Okay, this is another mango that was big enough, and so it survived. The goats are the problem why there are no leaves at all, but there were leaves when I arrived on the farm. Like, it's been around a week since we arrived, but there have been so much construction work going on, and I was up and down. I was still trying to get on my foot so I can start recording videos for you guys. Oh yes, before we go that side, let's not forget this. This is the lime. I think this is also an issue of watering. I also didn't water this in yesterday because I wanted to show you guys just what have happened. If you can see, there's hardly any. Oh, there are worms again. Oh. Oh my god. I think I have to kill this one, but I'm afraid there may be more. Just come closer and show them. I don't know why this always happens with the lime. It knows I cannot stand worms, but at the end of the day, do you see it? It's that small one, but it grows into a big green one. So somehow I'm sure there are other worms here. What do I do with this one? I think I'll come back and try to kill it off video, because I don't want you guys to witness that action. Eh? Oh Lord. Okay, there was a mango here, also gone. There was another one here. You can see the stump, also gone. And then there was another one here. This was Mango Sensation that I also got from Littlefoot. Luckily, it didn't die off completely. There were leaves and branches here that the kids snipped off. So that one I'll also leave it. This is the pear tree. The pear actually is doing good. I don't know now whether these are also goats. But it had leaves when we arrived here. I'm just wondering, because the kids that are in here are way too small to snip off the upper leaves. So I'm not sure what is going on here. But I know that the leaves that are at the bottom, definitely the goats. But you can see I have also watered it in yesterday. This is the Mineola. The Mineola have so many buds. I'm just a bit scared to be very close to it after seeing that the other ones have caterpillars or whatever, because this one also carries the same. But you know, this plant, guys, I have been saying, like, from the beginning of the year, I've been telling you guys I'm going to read up on pruning because it really needs pruning. I think I have read up a bit on pruning. I am definitely going to prune on camera so that the experts can correct me where I'm going wrong. But yeah, I have read up a little bit, and I think I have this little bit of courage just to come out and prune my plants now. And these buds, the buds got to go so that it can focus on growing. I see the guys also allowed it to have a very small mini fruit that was really just supposed to be taken off. But yeah, this is my nectarine. The nectarine is one of those that have grown quite much since I planted them. Also needs pruning. You can see the plastics. I tried air layering. Probably could have worked, but I went and returned months later. So like this branch that I tried to air layer, some of them are alive. This one have died completely. But yeah, I will give an attempt at air layering again, just to see, because I didn't want to prune off all the branches, but this needs pruning. Yeah, that's the point. This needs a lot of pruning. And then more heartache, guys, more heartache. This used to be an avo. I didn't know that an avo was so sensitive to the cold. It have completely died off. And guys, I bought 4 avocados. I think they were 500 or 400 Namibian dollars each. I'm now left with one that is barely alive. Yeah, ne? Heartaches of farming. When Mother Nature calls you, you got to respond. I didn't really stand a chance, I guess. This is a plum. I'm seeing the damage that the kids did to my plum. They snipped off some of the leaves that I now have to come and prune off. It had leaves, but guys, I'm very much convinced that the guys allowed bigger goats to come through, because if you look at these branches, you can see that they were snipped off at some point. Even these two, you can see that they were snipped off. So somehow I'm very much convinced that the reason why I came and this plum didn't have much leaves was because the guys allowed one of the bigger goats to come here. They didn't tell me, but the results are speaking for themselves, which is quite sad. Okay, and then the grapes. The grapes had many leaves, many fruits, most of which the birds apparently came and snipped off or made a meal out of. But you can also see whatever goat came through damaged the fence, trying to get to the top leaves. So yeah, this is something that I also have to attend to. One of those juices for the holiday. This used to be a big bush. This was my favorite avocado in the orchard. Yeah. Guys, you know they say a heartbreak is worse, ne? Or maybe heartbreak caused by love. Romantic love is worse. This is painful, guys. Very painful. Consolation, this one is alive. It had a leaf here. And if you want to see if your plants are alive, you could come through and just scratch. You see that green? That green means that from here, I think, yeah, from here it's alive. This branch seems to have a little life in it also. So, okay, here it's also alive. So I just have to come, okay, here it's dead. So somewhere here, I have to come and snip it off so that we can encourage it to get new buds and new branches and start over. This is one of those where I'm not going to buy more avocado plants anymore, or at this standing moment in time, I feel like I'm not going to buy avocados anymore and just allow this one. But the way I change my mind when I see plants, I'm not promising, but yeah, for now I think no more avocado plants. I'll focus on this one. We move on to the peach. This peach is one of those that have not been thriving. Oh, I see. Is this a worm? Come and see. Oh no, it is a millipede. Small millipede. So, but I think there is a worm somehow here, right? Because I watered last night and you can see something went over this soil. I'm very convinced there should be worms in here. You can see there were leaves. Again, the kids snipped them off, but these have not been thriving for a year now. This is its third year. No, for 2 years it has not been thriving. This is the third year. So I'm hoping next year it will take off. Today is the 22nd December 2023. 22nd December, okay. So yeah, I'm really hoping that in 2023 it will take off. I'm very happy because the peaches and nectarines seems to be cold hardy, so nothing much happened. We are going to that side. We have 2 more plants, and then we can go to the garden side. Or perhaps before we go there, let's start here. You can see there's a trench going on. Like I said, there's construction work, and this is a trench to take water from this side of the pipe to the main house. So what was affected was one of my garlic. So where I'm standing here, there used to be garlic. I think it was my vernalized garlic. This garlic was harvested because it had started to die off, and I told the guys to harvest it. I'll show you one of the pictures of what it looks like. This is the rest of the garlic. It's ready for harvesting, I think. I'm not sure whether it even have heads. The summer is so bad. Like, yeah, this is one of those that have died off. I don't know whether it was pulled out by goats, but you can see it doesn't have a head. The one that was harvested, they have heads. Oh, has such a strong garlic flavor. But I will come through with you guys and harvest the rest. There's few of them that are left. I don't know what happened to the others, but yeah, I will bring you through and then we just see what is happening here now. But this I needed to show you. Maybe I can also show you the onions. There were potatoes there. I think the potatoes died off. I don't know whether it's an issue of watering or whether it's an issue of the cold, because I think we transplanted them while it was very, very cold, or it was now when the heat came. I don't know. I wasn't here. I can't tell you. But let me show you some of the onions. The onions have performed, and I believe I have a big harvest of onions to come and do. I'll bring you guys with when I come and harvest, because there are so many onions on this part of the garden here. I think onions dominated the crops that we had here. You can see they are past their days of being harvested. So you see this one small patch. So I'm very sure I won't be buying onions a good portion of 2023. This one is a big one, right? Yeah, so I'll come through with the boys. Tangi is behind the camera now. Tuapewa have been suffering from hay fever, which I also suffer from, and it has been having him so down and coughing most of the time. But this is also why you hear that my voice have changed a lot. December is not a good month for Twapi and I, because allergies just spikes. I don't know what to use. We've been using allergics, but yeah. But anyways, let's not focus on the story or sob stories. Let me give you a mini harvest. You can see some of these onions are very small. Some have been pulled up by goats, I believe. But a lot of these are perfectly edible, perfectly good. And I think onions is one of my success stories. But like I told you, the guys have been eating from here already. Because I told them, instead of buying onions from the shop while you have onions at home, start eating. But yeah, like I told you, we are going to come through with the boys and get all of it out. Come out, man. Honestly. Oh, this one is hard to get out. Okay, got it. And guys, like I said, these onions are past their harvesting days. Typically you want to harvest your onions while the tops are a bit green, but you can see this have bent, ne? When you see that 95% of your onions are no longer upright, they have started bending. then it's a sign that you can start harvesting. So these ones needed to be harvested quite a while back, but since I wasn't on the farms, the guys have decided to come, to wait for me. So yeah, I think this is it for now for the mini harvest. You can see just how much onion we have here, because you can see, just show them the pile that I made, the small piles that I made in a few minutes. Very few minutes, I already have 3 healthy piles. And guys, this is Texas grainer onions. There are some that are very healthy size, and there are some that are itsy bitsy, but all perfectly edible. So for these ones, I think I'm gonna send the boys later to just come and pick up the ones that I have harvested. Okay, Mr. Cameraman, let's go. Enough with the onion harvest for now. Okay, there are a lot of melons that we have been feeding the pigs. Volunteer that came with goat manure, since this is what I used here. Hi Gabs! Okay, and then here beans that the guys decided to just put in. We have stopped watering on this side, and I'm hoping that the goats will eventually consume them. They have not been doing it yet. From what I knew, goats love beans, but it seems the kids don't know them, or I don't know. Somebody balance the equation real quick for me. These were carrots. They were quite green when I came in, but I don't think anything will come of them. You see, I don't think anything will come of them, because I don't believe they have been watering them enough, and they were not thinned. So this will be pig food. Okay, more beans. There were potatoes in here. Yeah. That I don't think were watered well. So you can see on top of the beans we have baby potatoes that are very good for breakfast and stir fries and whatever. Is there more? Okay, maybe not. I'm gonna put this in my pocket. So we have to come and dig up some of these potatoes and get our baby potatoes out. These are tomatoes that were killed off by the second frost after I have pruned. They have gotten a lot of powdery. I think this is spider mites. I was probably supposed to tell the guys to remove them even before they got spider mites, but I didn't. My fault. Yeah, there is red Creole here that I want you to see. And guys, like I said, we have construction work ongoing, so the generator is very high. I don't even know whether you guys can hear me. One of my main objectives or goals is to get a mic for you guys, so that you are able to hear me quite well, even when there are background noises, because now this is very loud and I don't know. But anyways, we have green pepper that have not been watered well, so the fruits that are on them are itsy bitsy, quite tiny, but guys, some of these are edible, so I will still come through with the boys and just harvest them. And then we have red Creole onions. These have not bent yet, most of them, but I will also just come through. I will basically harvest anything that is salvageable from this part of the garden. guys, so you can see some of them are a healthy size. I don't know, I didn't come with anything. I don't know whether my pocket can accommodate all this, but yeah, let me take those. Let's go, Mr. Tang. And guys, by the way, this red Creole, all the onions on these sections are the ones that I had in my plot within the orchard, just near the, yes, exactly in the Alice Mungo bed. You can see more of them here, and these ones were thrown here when the guys were digging the trench, so they had to uproot them and then throw them on this side. This is the spinach patch. The chickens really like the spinach. I think it's one of their favorite, so they have eaten it off, and then the goats came through and finished it off. We also have more melons and some pumpkin that the guys have tried to grow. I think this is crown pumpkin. There are so many birds that have been trying to take a nibble, and I believe there are other pests. When the birds come and chickens make a dent, other pests come through and try to consume. They have also tried to grow like this butternut squash that have not really thrived yet, but I'm sure it's simply because they didn't give enough water. And then we are back to the two last plants in the orchard. We are back to the two last plants in the orchard. This is an apple that were one of the last plants that I put in. And then here is this is navel orange, right? So this is a navel orange. It also had a lot of leaves, some of which were eaten off by the kids. And it is our last plant, which is planted within the aloe forest. Guys, thank you so much for joining me on this garden tour. It's the first of many videos that I'll be recording, especially now that I'm on holidays and I'm back on the farm. Like I said, being away from the farm, when you really are the one that is giving instructions on the farm, is never a good thing. In fact, it's never a good thing to be a telephonic farmer, which I have turned into the months that I was away. You can see things are not doing well, and I attribute it to the cold wave and my absence. But from now going forth, I think we will see the change as I'll be recording more. So we have to come and harvest the onions with the boys. We are bringing you along. I think I have to come and revive this orchard and prune the trees. I will bring you along, and many activities that will happen on the farm, I will definitely bring you along. Other than that, thank you so much for keeping up with me. From the Gabriel Farmstead, we out.